Hello, welcome to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for round 4 of the 1956 season. Juanmanuelfangio in his Ferrari is on pole position. Stirling Moss in second place, just like he was in Indianapolis. Eugenio Castellotti third in the Ferrari, and Peter Collins fourth. Remember, Ferrari still pointless, still unable to make it around past the sort of first third of the race. So Ferrari have a lot of work to do today, but they've got the positions to try to do it. They've just got to stay on the road and finish and claim some points. So we'll see how that works out for Ferrari. Stirling Moss likewise yet to finish a race. So we'll see. Jeanbehra, he lines up 7th. He has finished a race. He won in Monaco, of course. Di Portago 8th in the Ferrari. Then we'll see Paul Frere 9th in the Ferrari. And then Ron Flockhart 10th in the BRM. I think he didn't do too good in qualifying in Indianapolis. That was after having a really strong Monaco Grand Prix. So good to see Flockhart going and BRM going back in the right direction then. Jack Fairman 11th in his Connaught, and Cesareperdisa, the championship leader, he is 12th in the Maserati. Those two guys right up the top two in the championship. So they will be fighting for everything they can get from this race, most certainly. But if the Ferraris look like finishing, it's a shorter race, so hopefully they've got a chance. We shall see. Going back through the grid, we've got Tarifi there, we've got Shell. Van Wall are much better this weekend than they have been so far this season. It's not a massive improvement. Not suddenly jumped up into the top 10 or anything, but 15th compared to what's normally been way below 20th starting place. That's better from Van Wall, and they will hope that they can produce something from this race. Transignon, of course, did take points in Indianapolis, took 3 of them for 4th place. So that would have given them a little bit of a boost. But we wait to see what will happen in this race. Remember, Jack Fairman, he's staying at Connaught for next year. Gordini will be leaving the grid, so Manzon and Da Silva Ramos are going to have to try to find new drives. That's going to be interesting. They've both done good performances this year, so hopefully they will get somewhere. But for now, our focus is very much on the here and now. We see Juanmanuelfangio, Stirling Moss and Eugenio Castellotti on that front row. What are the chances that Ferrari finish this race? Well, we'll see. Fangio is away poorly. Moss away very well, very solidly, and straight into the lead. And Fangio trying to hold off Castellotti. It is slightly wet, as you can see at the moment. We believe it's going to dry as the race goes along. So there is Moss. They're all sliding around, but Moss has the lead. Fangio into second, but I think he's got a bit of a tank slapper on already, Fangio. And that could be, whoa, that Fangio is out. Fangio is going to be out after that. He might try to continue, but surely the car's not going to be able to. Fangio is very slow. I think no one's come past him, so there's been on Fairman, we can see, up into 5th place. So there's obviously been a massive pile up behind Fangio. We were watching Fangio, we didn't see the rest of it. Will he be able to continue? I know, but there's another Ferrari off. So it looks like the usual tricks for Ferrari, I'm afraid. That's Castellotti. He is out as well. Da Silva Ramos is out early. That's a shame because he has been one of the survivors all season, but that's not happening this time. Jeanbehra in second in the Ferrari, so he has avoided the problems. Fairman is up in the 4th already. This is the guy who's fighting for the World Championship. Perdisa, though, the guy who's leading the championship, only 1 place behind him. Flockhart in 8th there, and I think Flockhart's found the barrier. No, it's that Scotty up in 6th in the second Connaught. So Connaught once again surviving and coming through the field pretty well. Stirling Moss, though, has a comfortable lead. Will he be able to finish the race for once and take advantage of his position and win the race? Although Jeanbehra is catching him quickly. Well, we say that, but I think Jeanbehra goes wide, and up he goes, and that's Jeanbehra out of the race. Will ripped off the Ferrari. That might have been the last Ferrari in the race as well. So, well, Jeanbehra, and that's terrible for him. Godia is there up into 2nd place now, and Fairman moves up into 3rd. Brilliant drive from Jack Fairman so far. Not for the first time this season. Scotty is up in the 5th. He might get his first points in the Connaught. Frere is still in the race in the Ferrari. He is in 7th, but he's got to use the pace of that Ferrari to try and get some points. He's on home ground, don't forget. So is Jeanbehra, and I believe he's from Belgium, isn't he? Godia, that's Fairman running a bit wide behind Godia. Manages to continue, but that will lose him some crucial ground as he tries to get up into 2nd place. Yeah, there's just retirements all over the place. I don't know. We haven't seen anything from Mike Hawthorn today. I don't know if he's gone out of the race because he was quite consistent the first couple of races of the season, but that doesn't seem to be the way at the moment. But Disa is in 4th, and he's trying to hold off Scotty in the Connaught, who's clearly pretty quick in that British car, and the Maseratis don't seem able to match the connaughts. But Fairman, well, Fairman is way behind Moss. He'd have to pass. Well, there's Piotti off. That's another retirement. Uriah goes from the bottom of the grid to being 9th at the minute, so he's surviving quite nicely. Villoresi, he goes up to 8th, and that can't have been Flockhart we saw go off. Must have been one of the Van Walls perhaps, because Flockhart is still very much in the race in 7th position. Stirling Moss still very much leading the race, and well, we said we'd like to see some of the biggest names produce something. Fangio hasn't been able to. Moss might today, might just do it. He's held together this long. Can he keep it together? He's looking very, very confident and controlled, and the rain has started to back off. The track is getting drier, and that means there's more grip available, so even less excuse for him to go spinning off. Jack Fairman is now up in the second. He has got past Godia, and Fairman in the second place in his connaught. This is fantastic news for Jack Fairman, because if he finishes there, he's going to be back into the championship lead, and that would be absolutely fantastic. Scotty has got Perdisa as well. Monditgai in 6th in the Maserati. There's Flockhart. There's Villoresi still in 8th place. So we'll see them all. It's quite spread out, but Jack Fairman, how far is he behind Moss? Yeah, he's a long way back. I know that the connaughts have had the edge on most of the other Maseratis, but now this is Stirling Moss. He's one of the quickest drivers out there, and Fairman is a long, long way behind him. How he would expect to catch Moss, I have no idea. But Fairman will try, obviously. He's going to have to try. But Stirling Moss at the moment, you can see that gap is comfortable. This race is 1 lap long, and although it is an extremely long lap, Moss shouldn't encounter any trouble in that time. So here he goes. He continues to move forward, and there's Fairman, and then Godia behind. We see, and Fairman has created quite a gap between the two of them, and Scotty likewise creating quite a gap from Perdisa behind him. And remember, Perdisa was the championship leader going to this race, so the fact that Perdisa has dropped down to 5th, that really helps Scotty's teammate Jack Fairman. Stirling Moss continues to lead. We are coming towards the end of the Grand Prix now, and well, here we go. Stirling Moss, will he get some points on the board? This looks fantastic from Stirling Moss. It's been a great drive. He's controlled it since he passed Fangio off the line, and Stirling Moss now will come through. He'll come round onto the pit straight, and Stirling Moss will win the Belgian Grand Prix. A fantastic result for Stirling Moss. He opens his account, and he will now throw his hat into the ring to fight for this World Championship. Really well done, Stirling. Jack Fairman, though, comes home in second to get into double figures, to be on 14 points and back in the championship lead. Godia is 3rd. Scotty comes home in 4th. So first points of the season for him. And then Cesareperdisa comes home in 5th. So a few good points for a few of these guys, which it does change the championship around. It starts to mean that the top runners haven't just got 8 or 9 points. They are actually into double figures, and the championship is getting a little bit of a order going again, because it has just been a disorganised rabble for most of this season, and I think that's more or less going to be the way it continues. Again, nothing for Ferrari. It's a real shame, and to be totally honest with you, I did have a first run on this race, but unfortunately my PC crashed, but I will tell you, in that race Ferrari actually finished and Fangio won the race, but unfortunately my PC crashed and it didn't save, and therefore I didn't have a race to show you, and I've got to have a race to show you. So but it suggests that Ferrari may not go out early in every single race with every single car. They might have a chance as we go through this season, but in the rerun race, which did save, Stirling Moss is the winner, and that is of course the one we go with, because it is the race that I can show you on YouTube. So that's the one we go with. And yes, great result with Stirling Moss, and the championship is opening out, and it's looking more interesting. But soon we might be at that point where drivers actually start to get carried out, because at the moment, even though Ferrari have finished the first half of the season with basically no finishes, they could still get back into it, because there's still 36 points available. But after the next race, that will come down to 24, and if Fairman was to win the next race, he'd have 22 on the board. So we start to get to that point where drivers will start to be counted out of the championship potential. So there we go. Well, let's have another look at the results then. So Stirling Moss wins the Belgian Grand Prix. So first points of the season, and it's a win for him. So fantastically done. Jack Fairman finished 2nd in the connaught, 3rd for pacogodia in the Maserati, 4th pieroscotti in the connaught, 5th for Cesareperdisa in the Maserati. The Drivers' Championship now, Fairman on 14, Perdisa second on 11. Then you've got Jeanbehra, Hawthorn, Taruffi and Moss all on 8. Then Manzon and Flockhart on 6. De Silva Ramos on 5. You've got Uriah, Godia, Trantignon, Scotti, Maglioli and Girini. The Constructors' Championship, Maserati lead it on 55 points now. Then it's Connaught on 17, Gordini 11, BRM 6, Van Wall 3. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you very soon.